Hey, good morning, folks. We are going to get some more Spelljammer Combat and Exploration page layout production going on this morning. Give me a second here to check my signals and make sure everything's coming through clean. We'll go through our spiel real quick, and then we'll get into this for a couple hours. So checking my signal. We'll get into this for it sounds like I'm coming through clean. I've just posted that I'm live on Twitter, so if you follow me on Twitter at Phil Kearney, you'll see that I am now live on YouTube. Hi. I'm going to just kick out some announcement that I am live on Discords, and we'll get through our spiel here, and then we'll get into it. So, hey, my name is Phil Kearney. I create PDF role-playing game supplements. I've been focusing on 5th edition. Publishing on the DMsGuild. In my description down below here, there is a slew of links to books that I've created on the DMsGuild already. They're all 100% free preview. So if you're on a mobile phone, when you go to a specific book's product page, on the right-hand side there's an eye icon, and on the if you're on a tablet or a desktop, then there is the cover image, and then underneath that is full preview. If you click the full preview or the eye icon, it'll throw open a sample PDF. You can read the entire document cover to cover. Almost all the stuff that I produce has assets as zip files accompanying the book. So if you buy them, you get like maps or tokens or play mats and spreadsheets and other content that helps make playing the game easier for you. And you can check out the work that I've produced before. Amongst those books, there's maybe about 150 some odd illustrations. So if you like my art, you can tool through those and take a look at it. If you're a D&D or like Magic the Gathering enthusiast, you can look through the content that I've produced there. And if it's useful to you, consider making some purchases to support all the artwork that we make and the amount of time that it takes to develop these mechanics for us to bend D&D into different genres or in different play styles or different character fantasy fulfillments. So right now we are working on the Spelljammer Combat and Exploration document that we had produced. So let's get into that. But honestly, the best way to support the channel is liking, subscribing, hitting the bell for notifications. I want to get up to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of viewed content. That is what that's the bar that YouTube has set for monetizing channels. So once I'm monetized, every time I stream, I get paid to do artwork. So getting paid in advance. That helps make sure that I keep the content 100% free and keep hammering at it. So let's keep hammering away. So this is the book cover that we created by maybe like around episode 15 of the Spelljammer stream, Spelljammer playlist that we have in my channel. We also do Eberron cartography, and we also are developing the martial power system for martial classes to have instant and enchantment aura effects on their characters. You can check out those streams as well, but right now we are going to dive into the layouts for the Spelljammer Combat and Exploration book that we've been producing. I am using MS Word as my default publishing device, so I can manipulate text and page layout, as well as integrate images into the document before fusing it into a PDF. If you check out the Spellpoint Warlock playlist or the Elemental Key playlist that I have in my on my channel here, you can see how I extract pages of text from the Word document as PDFs and import them into Photoshop to then paint directly on the page and then reload it into MS Word as a completed page for publication. So once we get done with the layouts here, we will start peeling out individual pages from the document, dropping them into Photoshop, and then painting each page and reinserting it. Currently, we have 95 pages in this document. It is a monster. There's about 60 pages worth of just hard mechanics space physics, and how all that stuff translates into 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. Then we have about 5 pages worth of random system generators. So once you understand how the scaling and movement mechanics of this works, you can use those same mechanics to create a random wild space system, or use the random system generator to inspire your own pre-planned system for your own campaign. And then the last 25 pages of this document is taking the Light of Xeraxis adventure that's included with the Spelljammer's Adventures in Space box set that Wizards released, and translating all of the ship, encounter, exploration, and system maps, all the combat and exploration portions of Light of Xeraxis, and converting them into this Spelljammer Combat and Exploration system, so that if you've already picked up the box set, you're disappointed with how trite the mechanics are in it, but you'll like the idea of the adventure, then you can use this supplement to augment all that combat and exploration. And we lay out everything here, and we're going to have a ton of illustrations, visual references, diagrams, and reference charts to make the world as easy as possible for you to grok what we're doing, and for you to start using it to inspire your own space-borne campaigns. Hey, Hermetico, it's good to see you, my dude. So we had started at the back end of the document, working our way through Light of Xeraxis into the random system generator, through hazards and crew morale, into the exploration portion, the creature menagerie, and spell casting. And at this point, I'm going to flip to the front of the book and start working my way forward down. We already have the table of contents laid out here. Well, it's a skeleton anyway. We still have to actually integrate everything. So once the page layouts themselves are completed, and we know where everything is going to be on each page, I can then hyperlink all of these reference points and provide a page number with them, so that when you click on something, like if you click on Spelljammer Equipment and Ships, it'll automatically flip down to Spelljamming Equipment and Ships. And you can see this isn't laid out yet. We've just been working on the font sizes so far. So we're pretty happy with the text as is. We just need to break this down. We oscillate between 1 and 2 columns of text depending on what the content is. So I've got, 9:12? I've got about 100 minutes this morning before my Saturday becomes more than just me. So I will be streaming this for a while to see how much progress we can make. We're gonna finish the last. We are reworking the legs on the Night Spider token, and I anticipate having that done. Maybe I'll do some of that off stream this weekend. But if I don't finish it this weekend, I'll finish it up on Monday. And as soon as that's taken care of, all the asset work that we're going to be doing on stream is going to be page dressing, charts, tables, graphs, diagrams, and illustrations. So once we have all that, so basically we're done with the tokens. This is the first day of officially us shifting into book production. Asset production is pretty much done. We're now moving into page production. So for the next God knows how many streams that we do, we're going to be breaking down the text into each page into a separate PDF document, and then building out what each page looks like. And hopefully at the end result, it'll be prettier than, say, the Pacts and Patrons book or the Elemental Key books that we have in the links down below, which again, you can look at 100% free preview just to check out the kind of work that we do. So I'm getting a lot of granulation in the background here with, I don't know exactly what's causing that, but you may only be here for about 45 minutes today. Got some previous, man, you are welcome to be here as often and for as long as you want, my man. I'm just happy to have you around. I honestly don't know how exciting page layout stuff is. It's always a challenge. So let's see. So this is the first section, Spelljammer. So I'm happy with this as it is currently. I got some images to add to this block here, but it's just a basic introduction talking about what's in the book. Subject to change. I have a whole page to play with here, so I can do anything I want with it. But we're going to skip that, and we're going to jump into this document here. Let's see what happens. I'm actually going to do a... Yeah, I've got a page break there already. That's good. Let's take this and make sure it's the... What is going on? Huh. Okay, well, we'll just leave that be. I'm trying to... There we go. There was something wonky going on with my mouse. There is still something wonky going on with my mouse. What is going on with my mouse? Maybe that fixed it. I'm going to have a problem here in a moment. Hold on. This is not how I expected to start my stream. Boy, I've got a raging fire kicking behind me, and that guy is punching out a lot of heat. Huh. I'm going to save that real quick, and now I'm going to reopen it. Theoretically, I'm going to reopen it. Let's see. Welcome back. Thanks. Okay, the world is back in order. Thank Gorb. Let's, no more stalling. Let's get into this. There. Okay, great. So we leave the top of the section open. I'm going to mute that down. Cool. Let's see. We're going to take this section here. I'm just going to grab all of this. Boy, oh boy. Okay, so this is too big. I'm gonna have to make this smaller for now. Yeah, I mean, honestly, there's enough variety here that I am probably not gonna be able to get past the ship portion of this in the 100 minutes that we have. I'm looking forward to only doing this because I am not liking this. Take a week and then update the thing. So that's gonna change. Let's see, craft. Boy, oh boy. There's some page spanning material. Like, I can't have this be 2 columns. That has to be a single column. That has to be a single column. And then we have combat after that. Thank Gord that this is the end of the document. What is going on down here? Craft illustrations. Quick stat page. Okay, so I can get rid of that for now. Pre-generated ships. I can... This conveniently sits on one page. I can just leave it sitting on one page. That's it also happens to be the last page. So I can potentially just fill a page here with ships, diagrams, and images of stuff pointing at things, and I can pretty much do anything I want with this as like a splash, like as a splash art page diagram of stuff. Like you know, like having like little spiderlings and stuff like that, like little images of ships. Like the different craft next to each other. Anyway, and like scales of comparison and stuff. I'm just trying to think about like how I would fill that space with assets. So, but what that tells us is that this pre-generated ship section, it's its own page. So I don't need to worry about that. This towing vessels section, that might be something I'm going to have to be concerned about tearing out as its own thing. I'm plotting my next move. That's what you see. That's what you're seeing me doing. This isn't pre-scripted or anything. This is just me literally doing the work. So this is how clunky and ugly doing the work can certainly be. Okay, so let's take. Oh yeah, I added a cost table breaking down the cost for vessels and craft by the amount of size that they fill and the per foot and the materials that they have. So if you want to build your own ships, this section has pretty much all the tools that you need to build the physics for how your vessel works. So that works out well. Let's just get up into this. Ship properties, craft vessel, Spelljammer ships. Yeah, let's just build this as its own section right now. We can do layout, breaks. Oh no. So a page break here. Okay, I have an issue that just cropped up. I have to AFK for a few minutes. I have just discovered why I need to not eat before stream is done. BRB. Okay, that was horrible. So let's worst stream ever. Great. So let's see. New. Here we are. Materials, cost. There. Now let's take this to layouts and let's go to columns and just make it 2. That works out excessively well. Hold on. This stuff just breaks down so sweetly. Thank you. I'm going to have to build this into like an actual table. We're going to peel open Excel here in a bit, probably, and break this down into, yeah, a table. A table. A table. Materials. Oh, that sits nicely. Why didn't any of this? Let's do that again. I bet I can compress this. Still too big. Okay, I'm going to build an object here real quick to drop this into, because I think we can keep this going. This. I build these object boxes so that it's easier to... It basically makes everything its own little picture, and then you just have to arrange the pictures into the position that you want. Like you can see right now there's text underneath this, so I can shift this up like that. Get rid of the box frame effect if I want to. Have this sit independently. Now, and I can do the same thing here. This should allow me to be able to move these boxes of text around without breaking its shape. You know, the box itself will remain intact, but it stays in line with the rest of the document, so I can shunt stuff around. Here. Don't need to break that down. This should be okay. I'm going to leave that be. I'm not going to put that in a box yet. All right, now let's see what happens. That looks good. That looks good. It's an object space. Good. Okay, so let's try that again. Snap that fire. Yeah, okay, that looks goofy. Materials, hit points. I am going to... Let's go to... layout options equals do not move object with text. So I can just take this thing and just drop it in the middle of the page here and it should stay put. And this one, layout options, do not move object with the text. allow overlap. There we go. Okay, so now we should be able to move text around without influencing. I'm just gonna hit enter real quick. Yep, see, I can push the text around. It doesn't affect where the box is at. So once I find where all the text should be sitting in comparison to each other, I can sift the text around to accommodate where that text box sits. So let's see, how are we sitting here with the breakdown of stuff? I'm going to zoom in a little bit more so I don't have to lean so much into the camera. I've got a new microphone here. It keeps blurring out on the thing. Hold on. Let's see if I can show that off here for a second. No, it still blanks out. All right. I'll get a screenshot for you guys eventually of what my setup looks like. But I've got an arm now for my microphone, so it doesn't actually sit at the desk at all anymore. I keep futzing with over here on the side. There we go. Where am I at? There I am. Hey. CSEZ presents spell generating ships as mobile platforms that are integrated into the actions of creatures aboard during combat at scales larger than what a 50-foot square map can accommodate, as described here. SAS and various sources provide deck plans at the 5-foot scale for creature-to-creature interactions on the as described below. Period. That's the proper text. While SAIS and various sources, SAIS is described above as Spelljammer's Adventures in Space. So, and I've got an illustration marker here. While SIS and various sources provide deck plans at the 5-foot scale for creature-to-creature interaction on the decks of these ships, the scale isn't very practical. Thank you. Isn't very practical for ship-to-ship combat or exploring the astral sea and wild space. SC and E. This increases the map scale for ships to interact at the 50, 500. Okay, great. Let's see. Ships of any size from 50 to 500 feet referred to as vessels. Craft. Does craft fit? Nope, it doesn't fit on one page. Huh, I want to break this down. Vessels, craft. Oh, I see what I'm doing. Okay. This is me sorting where images and text and stuff fit. So we've got a diagram. Boy, oh boy. I've got a diagram here. I've got this here. Let's see if I get rid of that there. How does this affect the world? And various sources provide deck plans at the 5-foot scale for creature-to-creature interaction on the decks of these ships. The scale isn't very practical for ship-to-ship combat. Hold on. I want to mess with this text a little bit. So SCE presents spelljamming ships as mobile platforms that are integrated into the actions of the creatures aboard during combat. While SIS and various sources provide deck plans at the 5-foot scale for creature-to-creature interaction on the decks of these ships, this scale that is much smoother. This scale isn't very practical for ship-to-ship combat or exploring the astral sea in wild space. SC&E increases the size of map squares for ships to interact at the 50 and 500 foot scale. Increases the size of map squares for ships to interact at the 50 and 500 foot scale. As described below. Period. Okay. Now we got our craft. How do I want to have this thing sit? Ooh, boy, oh boy. Okay, maybe what I can do, let's do this real quick. Let's push this thing down so it's on the same document page here. Let's grab this here, cut, paste here for illustration here. That lets us push vessels and craft down to this side. Just absorb the whole scene there, buddy. It's vessels, craft, ship properties fall off the page. Don't need a diagram that large, so I can reduce the, what if I, this is me sussing in real time. So, oh, okay, maybe, fuck, I want to get craft and vessels aligned. I want them aligned vertically here, or horizontally. I might have to break this chunk of text up so it's vertical all the way across the page, so I can create a frame box to put this in with craft and vessels underneath it. Doesn't feel like it's gonna fit a whole page though, so I'm wary to do so. I see why I was doing that. Okay. So let's take this back to where it was and cut here. Let's take this down. Do that. Let's see. If I got rid of that. About a 10. Could line those. God, look at all that gap, though. That is not pretty. Okay. Here. So this should be, maybe we do this. Woof. I don't want to have this set. This is why I'm concerned this isn't good content. Oof, oh, that is unfortunate. Craft vessels, property diagram. Then ship properties. I don't think I need this stuff here. I think I need that stuff down here in the combat section. So I'm going to scoot that stuff down here. Range of combat. This is where I need all that stuff. Here. So I have I ain't sussing out. Let's try that again. Gravity planes. Air envelopes. What if I... Vessels, craft. What if I got rid of this? Ship properties, vessels, craft. What if I... Okay, so now that I'm defining my space a little bit better, maybe if I can push craft down like this, I can fill this left quarter panel with illustration. Drop ship, vessel, craft, vessels, craft. Get ship. Why do you change like that? Why are you changing like that? That's super weird. Is that a 16? That's a 12. This is a 20, 24, 20 ship properties. It should be a 20. Vessels, craft, ship properties, air envelopes. Gravity planes. Air envelopes. Ship materials. So this should be down here. Somewhere-ish. Materials, ship properties, craft. How large is that? Let's try this again. Fuck, so close. Alright, well, it seems like this is the optimal way to do it. Like this. Vessels, air envelopes. Illustration, that's a big illustration. Illustration. This massive object provides much more breathable air. It fills in our ship, has an air envelope. Like 5 minutes into the process and I run into a wall. How exciting for you. Ship materials. Jeez. Spelljammer ships. Vessels. Craft. This could work. Ship properties. Aha. Vessels, craft, ship properties. What is going on with my formatting here? 12. Oh. That's what was going on. Next 20 minutes, that should fix our problem. Fascinating. All right, we'll leave that be. Gravity plane. A lot of shunt there. Let's do air envelopes. Too big to fit on the page as well. All right, might just have to do that then. That could work out. One of the unusual properties of the gravity plane is that an object that falls off the side of the ship can end up oscillating back and forth, object wild space. And air envelopes. Craft. Okay. Okay, let's do, it's still messing around here with how I want these things to sit on the page. This is the job. Of course. I can pack all the text logically on. Jesus Christ. Okay, let's see how that shakes out then. Ship statistics, hit points, ship materials. Okay, we can potentially move. Illustration to this page here. See, I want to get this down here. Nope, that stays there. This one, pull down here. Down on this page. Damage. Ooh, okay. That does open up good space. Here. Ability modifiers, armor class, damage threshold. Those things are intact. Okay, so we... Ooh. No, wait, wrong button. We're cracking this one. We'll figure it out. There we go. Oh man, okay. This is pretty good actually, because when we do a page by page, take this out to 3-page format. 1, 2, 3, 4. Text here, image here refers to these 2 pages are unto themselves. Should be anyway. Okay. Let's make a table. Whew, that is much more efficient. Okay, cool. Let's see. I'm gonna have all of this as Roboto 10. Font size 10. And all this stuff is bold. Hey Tyler, good to see you, my dude. Yeah. Well, enjoy your feverish hay. Let's go with merry weather, light, bold, 12. No, that's not right. We want that to be Roboto. Thank you. Roboto 12B. Text is 80s. And text here is also 80s. So let's get these to the right color format. More colors, custom equals 80, 80, 80, period. Plus 2, max. So let's underline. And let's go take a look at let's see, elemental key. Text high color, that's not it. More colors. Why aren't you giving me what I have here? I should be getting color information here. I'm not. Why are you not giving me color information? Oh, because you're coloring the whole thing. Huh. Maybe I can have more success down here. Nope. All right, we'll just have to wing it. First one's always a modified color. So let's do... Oh, wait, I'm silly. Let's just do this. Silly rabbit. Let's, it's 200. Okay. Perfect. And let's check. 80. Okay, cool. We got that figured out. Get that out of the way. Oh, thank you. the pizza sauce. My pleasure, my man. Oh, it's hard, but... And then we'll build a box around it. Copy. Now we tweak, 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 tweak. I'm gonna bring in these. Now it becomes invisible, so it just sits on the page. That's a chart. Oops. We should change the format on this. There. There we go. That's a chart. That's a pretty chart. And now we have an invisible box that surrounds it that we can drop it into position. We can view, show grid lines. Good. When a planet has spherical gravity, ships and small objects, while planets have spherical gravity, ships and small objects have a gravity plane. Gravity doesn't radiate from a point, but rather from a plane that cuts horizontally through the object and extends out as far as its air envelope. An object, full upside down ship. One of the unusual properties, blah. When objects in an astral space touch, their gravity naturally synchronizes along a common plane. More details about gravity are provided in the combat and exploration sections below. Links. So we can then put in this spot here an illustration. So let's go with insert shape, object, here we can place an illustration showing how an air envelope and gravity plane look around the ship. The Spelljammer ship has a nautiloid with a line through it and an air bubble around it. We can do a grid that shows a side view, the profile view of a ship with the gravity plane going through it, and then the grid lines showing how the objects fill the space. We'd have like a medium-sized, large, huge, gargantuan craft and vessel, all with bubbles, like indicating the bubble around them. So we'll have a profile view and then an overhead schematic view of each of these things. So like something like how the hell are you? What size are you? Something like that. Like we could just drop illustrations like this and like that, but not crappy, you know, like stuff like that. I've gone and covered my face. Hey guys. So there you go. Yeah, something like that. We can create like these little air bubble effects, and we can use common coloring. We can use the same color that we're using for the background image here. We can use for. Let's get rid of that. Like that. So we have a common color alignment here with the charts and stuff as background color for the tables. We can use that same background color for our air bubble effect that we got going on. So, and then like, you know, like gravity plane, wherever that would actually fit. Probably more like that. So anyway, that's these are things to come. We'll have to build out these each one of these little assets we're going to have to create. Which we'll do on streams. Once we lock down what image assets are exactly needed for each piece, we'll be able to hone in on Sesame. So I'm going to bloop, 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 like that. I bet I can push this text down a bit. How far can I push this down before I break the page? Line up that bottom edge there. Good. There we go. So now I get the text lined up here around the box here. It creates an artificial negative space frame around that space that's aligned with the rest of the page. Bottom text here. There. Not too crowded, sits inside of the borders of everything else. It's good space. And that opens up a little bit more space up here for us to then create here. Let's go back to visibility to our show grid lines. then that grid up there. There. So this is the space that we'll have to build out these little token things inside this space. Profile view, like these two things here, will fit in a space like this. And then we can take like the spider and drop it into a block like this. Like we have medium size, small, medium creatures here, large, huge, gargantuan, and then craft, and then spiderling here. Profile view here. We should be able to fit all these assets inside of this little block space. And then ship statistics. So that should close out these 2 pages. So plane synchronizes along gravity fields, air envelopes. Let's see, ship properties there, and then ship statistics. Statistics is a ship properties is a 20. Was that intended? Resistance and immunities, hit points. Ship statistics is 16. So 14. I feel like there should be a little bit more gap there. That screws up my alignment on shit. Barkle. SCE presents Spelljammer ships. Provide deck plans at the 5-foot scale for creature-to-creature interaction in the decks. The scale isn't very practical for ship-to-ship combat or exploring natural sea. SCE increases the size of map squares for ships to interact at the 55 as described below. What does this button do? Yeah, okay, that's a mistake. Building modifiers and checks. Armor class. Damage threshold. Okay, cool. So that page looks good. Save the document. Now I got card. Now we get to do the same thing with this page. We keep doing this page after page after page until we're done. So this is the work. Birthright. Hey, I was reading some tweets of what's Birthright. Birthright. Oh, it was. You'll have to Google it, man. Birthright's. It's a kingdom building campaign sort of thing. Like each character is decreed by the gods, the ruler of whatever their kingdom is, and your job is basically to rule the kingdom. It's in Mystara, which is also the home of Hollow Earth and a bunch of other stuff. It's worth looking into. I never got into Birthright. I had too many things on my plate to buy that up as well. When Birthright came out, I was playing in a Dragonlance campaign, and I was running a Spelljammer Planescape campaign. So none of us ever, oh Jesus! And then we were oscillating between Dragonlance, and Dark Sun. So yeah, we never Birthright came out at the same time as like all the other campaign settings that ended up bankrupting TSR. Good stuff, but yeah, I've never played Birthright specifically. A ship AC is determined by the ship's material and pilot. Far so good. So what? Let's see. How do we do this? How do we do this one? Next challenge. This page. I don't know if this is good content or not. My gut tells me it's not as entertaining as painting. It certainly takes a lot more of my concentration to do it, so I can't just ramble about stuff on the fly. I actually have to think about stuff, and I think the more Phil has to think, the less good his content gets. Let's see. I want to drop these pre-generated ships down onto a separate page. It's 10:30 now, so I'll probably be able to suss out what this page is supposed to have on it before I gotta bail for the day. Cargo and towing limits, a typical 100-foot long water vessel, blah, blah, blah. All vessels can carry a blank, and then a blank. Thank you. All right, 20 minutes to go for today, and then we'll be out. Hollow Earth. Oh, yeah. Not all worlds are flat. With the scaling damage system we have in here, I can give you the hit points for a turtle large enough to carry a planet, or a turtle with elephants, and then the elephants with the Earth on it. We can we should spend a session building that out. So if you have a world that has your world sitting on the back of 4 elephants, we can figure out how much damage does it take to kill the elephants if you wanted to destroy that world. But yeah, we've got the math for that in here. It's down in the exploration section for massive objects. Ours is flat. Okay. That's right, and the fulcrum is in Antarctica, which is why they won't let you see there, because they don't want you to see the 500-foot golems that turn the wheel of pain. Cargo towing limits. All vessels, a ship can exceed cargo capacity. Sidebar, additional weight to consider. Let's see. That's a big sidebar. Costs. Let's do this. What does this button do? Oh, this button is perfect. How about a bit of that? I bet this is going to sync up just fine. Am I right? I'm pretty right. I am fairly right. Move. Where'd my thing go? Let's grab it. Don't take that out of context. Here. That's a decent block. I'll drop down to about here. It's too big of a space. No, maybe it's not. Hold on. What if I did something like this? Damn. Now let's build a box here. Oof, I don't think that's going to be big enough. It might be. It might be. Crap. Okay, let's see. Let's see. No, it's not gonna work. Shit. All right. What if instead what if we did this instead? It all fits on the same page, and it potentially creates a large enough block. Hey man, how you doing? Long time no see, Splinter. It's good to see you, my dude. Does it? Oh my god, how astute. Thank you. Yeah, this is, we'll need to break this down into a table. That's a good eye, man. I appreciate that. Yeah. Let's see. So what I wanna do. Yeah, I don't know if I can elegantly do this or not. I can do this. Let's see. So can I... Okay, we're going to have to break this table down here real quick before I can proceed, so we see what the actual size is that we need, so we know how we can manipulate the text. So let's get back into the Excel document. Let's go, let's build a new thing. We'll go material, vessels, craft. Composite, heavy. And I can make this table more compact. You might have to decrease font size in tables and text to get it to fit. Yeah, I may possibly have to do that. That's part of the process. We're at a default body font size of 10. In a lot of my other works, I have to actually drop it down to 9 to make it work. But if I do that, then I'm gonna have to do it for all of them. So we're gonna see if I can keep it at 10, and if I can, bully. If not, easy enough to drop the fonts. But I have a standardized font size for all the titles to be 12 bold robotico. That's just a constant that we have throughout the document already. But the body of text I can manipulate. So we'll see how shit susses. The typical gold value of a ship is determined by the material it is built from. Let's see. Typical gold value of a ship is determined by the materials it is built from. Per 5 feet. Let's see. The typical gold value of a ship is determined by the materials it is built from for each. Costing. Do I need to word that any differently at the time? See, I want to drop out that slash per 5 feet because it's a constant throughout the entire table. So that tells me that I don't actually need to have that moniker in the table. I should extract it and put it in text. This is the thing. You create a manuscript for the content. You hand it off to your editor. Your editor kills it in building out a good document for you. Hands you back the raw text. And then you start dropping it into the page layouts. And then the page layouts force you to make changes to the text. so using the edited document, Adam Hancock's our editor on this one. He did Orkin and Elf Had a Baby 1 and 2, as well as Balduran's Guide to Kingdom Building, and a crap ton of other stuff. I'm thrilled to have him on our team. More than happy to throw him money for helping me build this thing. So he's getting a solid cut of anything that we do with the in-command system, period. So I'm happy with that. And he also has first rights on edits on anything, like when I build the Armada, and when I build the Neogi Death Squad extension, and when I build all the shit that goes along with this stuff. He'll have first rights to whether he wants to edit it or not. And if he doesn't, then I can hand it off to somebody else. But But that's the process. You build something, you get the text clean, they drop the text back to you, you start building your layouts, and then you see that you have to futz with the stuff, which is when I get to use my editing skills. So, build. Yeah, Adam is freaking amazing. And my co-writer is Joseph Vargas, who's ukulele bard. He created big fucking swords on the Pathfinder Infinite system, and he also built the what is it? The Eberron Strixhaven book. I think it's Eberron Archetypes. I think that's what it's called on the DMsGuild. But he's got really great he's really great with math. So he came on board basically as a technical editor to make sure that all the mechanics that we built for scaling damage thresholds, siege weapon attacks, movement, all the fiddly math mechanics that go into the Spelljammer combat system that we have here. He fleshed all that shit out to make sure the math works right. And man, I'm proud to have him on the team. So cost, pre-generated ships. So technically costs should be here, which is going to cause the rest of this stuff to get pushed down. I'm not sure if this is going to work or not, but we don't know until we know. So let's take this and make sure we have the right font. That should be the right font. Sure is. Because I'm a perfectionist. Let's fix our font here. It's probably the right font. Let's double check. Since I don't see color, I gotta check on it. And I think it's all gray tone anyway, so even if you do see color, it might be difficult. 80. Okay, that's good. And this is supposed to be 80 bold, so let's see if that's true. Bold. Good. I like this song. Smooth jazz. Ah, ah, ah. Material, vessels. Maybe I can do don't mind me, I don't know what I'm doing. Let's go like this. Burp. Wow, that's barely an inconvenience. So maybe I do leave in per 5 feet. Vessels. Let's nest. Let's do some nesting. Insert shape, object. Make sure we have the right size for the box. I'm much more entertaining to listen to when I'm painting than I'm doing this type of stuff. And as a viewer, I'm doing my best to keep you entertained. That's very kind. Thanks, Tyler. Yeah, it's I don't know. I don't honestly know how entertaining this type of work is. It's not nearly as interactive just because of the amount of focus it takes for me to be able to build this stuff. I suspect it's kind of a stream fail, but the point of this all was to demonstrate the process of actually building a PDF document for a role-playing game, which I think I'm hitting the mark on that. Whether, thank you. All right, we are less than 10 minutes before my day breaks, so, but I mean, this is making sausage, you know. Anyone that is interested in getting into PDF production for RPGs, this is the kind of crap you're going to end up dealing with, or you're going to hire somebody to do this malarkey for you. That is font 12. This should be font 12. Like, see, now that I built this, I kind of want that like per 5 feet stuff in there just so it can flesh out the length of this space so it doesn't look weird, you know? I can certainly accommodate. The per 5 foot moniker in there to make that sit properly. Size, shape on a map at craft. Players and DMs. Tralfaz. God, that lines up really well. Nice job, Kearney. Still a little squinched, though. Boy, that's really just hitting the mark. We're pushing down to the next. Okay, so let's see. Ability score. Cost. Don't really need cost on this page anymore. That's good news. Okay, well, now that I've malarked all that stuff for like ever, right? I can potentially push it all up into here. Ugh, this is getting messy quickly. Sometimes you gotta go around the world to find the girl that lives next door. Yep, that all totally works out. I had to do it to do it. Drop that here for now. And that brings us back to where we were originally. I actually kind of like this up here. If you drop your own I do this. I drop advertisements. Like when I'm talking about something that has token assets inside it. Like if you buy this thing, you get a zip file with a shitload of like all the ship token assets that we've been building, right? Like all that stuff. I can drop a note here, and then once I publish the document, I go in, make an alteration to the text on here, and then reload the document so that I can hyperlink all the here instances of the DMsGuild, so that throughout the document there's hyperlinks. It's like if the, like because people can read 100% of this, a number of people are going to be using their phone. And when you click on the sample icon on the sample document, and the little eye icon you pop up on your phone, it automatically downloads the PDF. And since all my PDFs are 100% preview, you're basically getting a sample version on your phone. So I drop in these little comments here. It's like, I know that you probably ganked this to look at it and you were considering whether it was worth it or not, but if you come back and you look at this chart 2 or 3 times, I'm reminding you, it's like, hey, this is where you got this thing from. You can go buy it at any time. On the little sample thing, you can click on that and it'll take you to the product page where you can buy it. And I do the same thing with the Color Mana Spell Point variant rule bundle that I have in the description down below, and I get sales every week on that. It's been like 3 years that I put that thing out, and I still get sales on it every week. So what'll end up happening is someone will download like Spellpoint Warlocks for free. Like for every 3 copies of Spellpoint Warlocks that gets downloaded for free, someone ends up buying a copy of Spellpoint Warlocks. Like they'll come back and they'll buy it. And then when they do that, 1 out of 2 of the purchased Warlocks ends up somebody buying the entire bundle of the Spellpoint Warlock, the Spellpoint variant rules that I have. So basically, every 6 free downloads of the Spellpoint Warlock Pay What You Want converts into a sale for all of my mana books. So this has been like, that was a loss leader, quote unquote loss. They call it loss leading when you offer something for free as an incentive to purchase more shit. So I make it a pay what you want. You don't have to pay anything for it. But if you do, or if you grab it, whether it's free or not, and you have it in the bundle, the whole bundle becomes less expensive because you grab that one pay what you want document. So I get basically like $10 every time the Spellpoint Warlocks or the Spellpoint variant rule bundle gets downloaded. So it's in my favor to churn out and like kick out as much Spellpoint Warlock content as possible, like to put it in different bundles and stuff. Because once it gets into somebody's library and they look at it, if they grab it in the first place, it's because they're interested in this kind of shit. And then they end up coming back around. It's like, well, yeah, there's a lot of value here. And a lot of people just buy it either out of guilt because I've given you everything, or you want the assets that come in the zip file. So the more often I remind you that there's shit in the zip file if you purchase this stuff, the more likely it is going to convert. And plus, being 100% free preview, there's no reason for it to get pirated. So, I mean, I'm not very popular, so I can't imagine anyone pirating my crap anyway, but there's no incentive to piratize my material because it's all free to look at anyway. So once you have it, you have it. Now it's just a matter of, do you want to pay me back for it, or do you want the assets that we produce that we put in the paid products? So, I love listening to your work. Thank you. It helps to break down my own ideas and grow from using Simzo notes. Right on. To actually use tables and breaking down the math from my own games. Right on, man. Like I said, I use Microsoft Word because it's cheap and easy to use. Most people have access to MS Word of one sort or another, so I build the entire thing inside of MS Products. It's not as sleek and sexy as Affinity or InDesign, but I mean, obviously you can build stuff with it, and it turns out a-okay. I mean, I haven't really broken this down. I haven't fixed this up yet, but you know, we're building. We're in a process here. So, but it is now after 11 o'clock, and sadly, my friends, that is the time I have allotted for today. So I'm going to continue working on this thing, and we're going to come back Monday when we're back in the morning. We will finish up the night the revised Night Spider token here, fix its legs, and once we have that off of our plate, we're just going to be building like table charts and stuff like that, and hopefully that's going to be entertaining material. If it ends up being too dry, we'll probably switch Monday mornings back to doing Eberron cartography. I have Mondays and Thursday nights that currently have been Eberron cartography, but again, if I need to flip-flop the products for the sake of what people are interested in seeing, it's all rock and roll to me. So if I end up doing Eberron cartography in the mornings, then my Mondays and Thursday nights will go back to doing Spelljammer stuff. Monday lunch stream, we have the Martial Powers project, and we're going to be building melee tank control builds that are designed to prevent, limit, or punish movement and actions of enemy creatures that are within range of attacks that might be trying to get past the front line to hit the squishies. We're going to build probably a barbarian and a fighter off of those themes specifically. We'll be doing that at lunch on Monday. Monday night will be our Eberron cartography stream, and then we'll see how the rest of the day, the rest of the week or the month flows. But this project is my top priority right now because we are in the layouts, and once we get through layouts, and obviously layouts are a bear, so a lot of my off-screen time right now is being spent towards processing all this data into the document. But once we have the layouts finalized and everything sits on the page the way it's supposed to with all its charts and graphs and stuff, then we go in and we start doing here. Since we have the document open, we can look at it real quick. So you can see here that we have like we have page dressing, like all these little things. These are all just plates. So all this stuff is just a large space that I build as a PDF document that I then fill into the space. I just make the size of the image the same size as the page layout that I'm using. And then like this is a good example, like all these little these little accents that I have around the table here. Those are just things that I drew in Photoshop. And so I export this page. I drop the page with a transparent background into Photoshop, and then I paint onto the page however I need. Like I wanted to build a frame here that would be able to fit around this. So I had this text and I dropped it into here, and then I drew this frame around it and mirrored it. And then I can come down here and I can just build like this little, like this little corner accent here for framing the page number. But then on top of that, I actually can build these illustrations. So you can see this illustration is fused with the document here. So I can go in and I can illustrate this, and then if I have the bandwidth, if I have the ability, I can move the text around inside the document to accommodate where the illustration may need to be. So I get to scooch text around and stuff to make it all fill out properly. Yeah, so we'll go through it like this one here. See, like all this stuff is just framework. So then I can just drop it in around the text. So once we have all the pages laid out the way that I want them to, I rebuilt this after building martial powers. I needed to reconstruct how sustaining and locking key worked for the elemental key. So this is actually going to be a newer document than what's actually on the guild right now, but anyone that buys elemental key will obviously have access to it when we're done. So when I get bored and I need to take a breather from everything else that I'm doing, I'm going to come in and I'll be able to build a quarter page. It'll probably be a flying kobold or something, but we'll be able to drop a new image here and reload this document on the DMsGuild. But yeah, this is all that scaffolding and stuff that I have, and like you can see, I can just drop in illustrations of stuff, whatever it is that I want, into the page spaces. So once our cartography is done, I'll be able to, make it like Spelljammer illustrations and drop them in here. And then whenever we complete a piece, we drop it into the document and we just keep pushing through. And the document that we have here is it's a chunky 93 pages now. It was 95 pages when we started this process. That's now 93. So as Durzazad had stated in one of our previous streams, chances of when we convert things from one column to two column format, it's going to drop us, it looks like it drops us about 20% overall is what it does. So we're probably going to end up with like maybe an 87 page document once we get the rest of the layouts put in. And as you can see throughout here, there's like big gaps that we can put all sorts of diagrams and stuff into. Like this block here. This is the random system generator that we have. Like this is a huge space. But what I can do is I can make a map of different planets, and I can have it on a grid with like the central star here, and then like circular bands of like the orbiting paths of the planets. And then you can see like their system radius. We have a breakdown table here of the here, I'll zoom in so you can see it. We have system map here is like the die roll that you have for your random system sets the size of the system. And then so when we have the system map space here, we can have a system that goes out to, like 1.2 billion miles, for instance. We can have a scale from here to here, 1.2 billion miles, with different bands showing the different lengths. And I can have like I can do something like this. Conceal that real quick. I gotta go, but I want to do this thing. Like I can have the central star here, and then I can have a band like this, and like a band like this, and a band like this. And I can do like 1d4, 1d6, 1d8, etc. to line up with this. So when you're looking at the chart here, you can see like this scaling path on a square grid map, because everything that we do in this game isn't hex based. It's all square based, so it doesn't matter what scale of movement you're at, your ships are always using the same type of 5e combat movement. And we've done extensive, like back I think around episode 20 of the playlist, we were building out the rough draft of the system maps and how the scale, like how the orbiting systems work inside of these squares. It all works, and you can go see that. So using all that language previously in the document in the exploration section, when we come down here into the random system generator, the reader can see how these things click together. So you can build, I don't have it in here because that's scope sprawl, but once this is built, I can then build like maybe a 15-page document on Spelljammer, like wild space hex crawls, using the random system generator and the exploration scaling system that we have inside of this supplement. I can then build a hex crawl simulator for people, since you can only see so much with your orrery doing scans of objects. You have to close distance with larger bodies to see all the things that are orbiting around it, so that you can get that deeper perspective. Like, you have to go places to see things. You can't just step into a wild space system and see everything that's in there and decide whether you like it or not. Like, there may be, like, you can get indication that there's moons orbiting that planet over there, but you have to close distance to that planet to be able to zoom in on those moons. And once you zoom in on them, you might see like asteroid fields and other interesting things. The kind of the same way that in a hex crawl, you have to enter that hex for you to get more information about that hex. We can do the same thing with this system by stepping into the different square spaces inside of that system. So we have all that here. So in this kind of a space, I can build out that like this radiating dye effect, and then down here I've got crystal stars, central star system, and like what those do. So I can have like just like illustrations of different flotsam and stuff going on. Number of planets. I've got a big space here that I can do planetary system images, and this can all be done in that hex crawl format. So when we actually build the hex crawl expansion, all this language is going to make sense, because we're going to be pulling assets directly from here and dropping them into the hex crawl piece, and then expanding on these pictures and these ideas further into the hex crawl. So, and again, that'll be something that Adam will have first rights of refusal to work on with me if he wants. And if not, then I'll hire somebody else. But all throughout this system generator, I've got all these little gaps I can fill in with little images and diagrams of stuff that's relevant to the image, to the table that we're rolling on at the time. So that's the idea. And then we got the converting layers of axis. I have to do all of that table formatting that we did above, which is going to be a bear. But we can fill these spaces with actual like Roll20 map screenshots of how I built these things out when we were playtesting it, how these combat encounters actually rolled out, and how all these ship assets actually sat on the page, to see how these, to see how they actually interact. So you can grab all these assets from the zip file, and then since it's a Roll20 thing, I can actually load it into Roll20 and have a Roll20 bundled with the PDF here, so that you can just drop these assets directly in by the Roll20 asset bundle, and then just drop Roll20 directly into your game and have Layers of Access ready to go. That's going to take a while for us to build, but this will be my first Roll20 product. And having the Layers of Access, the 25 pages broken down into a PDF that just loads directly into Roll20 with all the mapping calibrated, all the tokens in position already. It's going to be fucking sweet. So that's where we're at right now. That's the big brain project. It's going to take a while for us to do it. But this is only a 25-page appendix. Only 25 pages for converting the entire Layers of Access campaign into this combat and exploration system. So this will be a good means for me to learn that Roll20 process. So when the Eberron adventure is done, we'll know how to break this thing down into those Roll20 assets, so we can do the same thing with the Eberron adventure. And then once we convert Dragonlance into our mass combat command system, I'll be able to do that as well. And since we're converting the board game that Hasbro created for $90, we can drop it in here for $20, and you can play the board game in our command system on Roll20, or with all the assets you can load it into Foundry if you want to, or maybe I'll get, Grim Press or whoever to convert it for me. We'll see. But that's the system. Hey, how you doing, RP? It is the end of my stream, so let me check to see if I'm getting. Yep, I just got pinged. So I got to bail. I'm going to be back on Monday morning, but thanks a lot, guys. I really appreciate it. Hold on, let me see what this message is real quick to see what I actually have going on here. Yep. Okay, so I got things happening, and God, I wish I had more time with the RP, but I got to bail for the day. I got a brunch plan on tap, so I got to get changed out and ready to go for that. And I'm going to be spending most of my afternoon continuing this process. So I'm going to be back bright-eyed and bushy-tailed on Monday morning with you guys. And thanks a lot, guys, for hanging out. I really appreciate it. So yeah, hi and bye, guy. Hoping to catch you again in the future. But yeah, got to bail. I'll see you on the other side. Thanks so much.